morning and welcome to Crafters TV. Did you like that slide? I'm really impressed with the graphics. I was busy yesterday, I didn't see them. And they're all Christmassy. It felt very festive. I was most impressed. So good morning everyone and welcome to Crafters TV on this lovely Friday morning. A little bit grey here, but it's bright and all sparkly here in the studio. We're all ready, we're all feeling very festive. We've been with our Christmas presents this morning for our photos. Now, today is day 2 of our Craftmas celebrations. So we're going to talk about that in a little while. So some brilliant deals. But it's a busy day because I have got not one, but 2 experts here with me today. And I think you've just seen a sneaky peek of them. I have got the lovely Michelle and the fabulous Becky here. Good morning.
Hello, nice to see you.
Yes, it's really lovely to be here. So, what are we going to be doing today, ladies?
You go first, because I'm really super excited about yours. I'm super excited about mine, but I'm super excited about your launch.
Yes, no, I love these. So we've got these beautiful pop-up vases. So you've got the ability to be making these lovely centerpieces. The brilliant thing about these is they're of a size where you can be popping them onto all of your other makes. So you can see this is in a lovely dome front card for this one. So you've got lots of elements in these. Oh,
I'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you very
Teamwork.
much.
It's teamwork, yeah. Always teamwork.
Absolutely. This one has been made into a beautiful wreath on the front of that card.
The flowers come out of the vases beautifully, don't they?
Yes,
and you stand alone.
They really do. So you're going to be using those either on their own or to really create one of your, let me just pop that out for you, one of your 3D makes. You're going to have a lot of fun with these. So there's the vase in there, there's the pop-up element inside that allows your vase to stand up, and then you've got all those flowers where you're going to just have lots of fun.
And then they fold completely flat for postage
yes,
as well.
Yes, so if I fold
better.
this down for you, you can see that if I turn that to the side, completely flat. So you can post them and then it just pops up when you give it to whoever's lucky enough to be receiving it.
Excellent. So we're going to see a little bit of that in this show this morning, but we're also going to feature that. We're going to do the official launch at 6 p.m, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon. And Becky, you've got some pretty fabric on your knee.
I'm just still
stroking it.
Yeah, I'm a fabric stroker. We've got some beautiful fabrics on the show today. So these are Macawa fabrics. These are absolutely stunning, really lovely colours, a lot of earthy tones, beautiful greens in there as well. We've also, I'm doing some Christmassy stuff because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's Christmas now for me. So I've got some Christmassy items to show you today. I'm going to be doing a stocking and I'm going to be doing some crackers.
Excellent. Oh, I like the idea of that. Well, I like homemade crackers. They're really, you can make really personalised, can't you?
And you don't get crackers in the US, do you? They
no,
don't have crackers
I mean,
in the
we've talked about crackers on this show before, and people have come in from the US saying, what are Christmas crackers? You don't get them. We're going to educate you in Christmas crackers and explain what they are.
Yeah.
Yes. They're a must. They're a must. You're going to be having them on your Christmas table going forward, I think. So yes, I've already mentioned that we've got the 12 days of Craftmas going on at the moment, and today is day 2, as it's the 2nd of December. So you can see there on the website all of the deals. Now, today being day 2, it's all about our 3 for 2 on Spectrum Noir. So I said, oh, you mean the ink pads? They went, no, Corrine, it's not just on the ink pads, it's on anything Spectrum Noir based. So make the most of it. Make the most of that 3 for 2 and, you know, get the biggest savings you can possibly get by popping the right bundles into your basket and getting the maximum savings you can get. Look at that, lots and lots of pens. You might be wanting those to colour in the flowers to go with your pop-up vase. You know, you might be just wanting to top up some of your pens that are, you know, running a bit low, or your ink pads. Look at that, there's pages and pages of items on there. So yes, so have a look at that. But just to warn you, we actually have a deal on our show later on when we're looking at the vase and the flowers on some Spectrum Noir ink pads. So have a look at that because that actually works out slightly better than 3 for 2. So just be warned, there's an excellent deal on the ink pads that have been specially selected to work with the vases to really, you know, maximise the colour. So we will have a look at the vase in a few minutes. But first of all, let's see who's with us. So we've got Alicia Gordon here. Good morning, greetings from Arkansas. Getting ready for work while listening to my favourite channel. Did you like the music? I hope you like the music. Getting you ready. We've got Brian Dickey from Batesville, Mississippi, and Kathy Myers from Missouri. Ben's here, obviously Ben McCarthy, Michelle's husband, and we've got Shirl here. Oh, she said, good morning. It's been a while since I watched Wake Up Call. Well, welcome back, Shirl. It's really good to have you here. Miriam Robinson saying, good morning, you all from South Carolina, having coffee and staying warm on this chilly day. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Stay inside, watch us all day and keep warm. We've got Sandra Dunder says, good morning, Becky, Corrine, Michelle, CTV crew, social media superstar, crafty family and friends. So on socials today we have our lovely Rachel. She's here, so good morning, Rachel, and thank you. In the gallery I have Jamie on producing and George on the camera. So they're saying hello and good morning to you too. So Terry Anderson says, great morning, ladies. What a great launch today. I ordered it yesterday. Well, there you go. You snuck in early, Terry. And Sandra says, Michelle and Becky got the colour coordination message. Corrine went with the Christmas jumper message. All looking beautiful. Well, thank you. Yes, it's Christmas jumpers all the way. I saw Becky had her Christmas jumper on yesterday. So
I love a Christmas jumper.
You love a Christmas jumper?
I do love a Christmas
Good.
jumper. But they look at you funny around Easter when you're wearing a Christmas jumper.
Well, yes.
They get a little funny looks generally.
Going to the beach in the summer in a Christmas jumper is just not the done thing, is it? No.
No,
Even
a
if
bit
it's
warm.
a bit chilly. Yeah. Well, thank you. So we're going to start with some of the, we're going to have a quick look at the pop-up vase and see here. And then Becky is going to talk us through all of our softer size bits and pieces. So the pop-up vase collection. So it's 20 elements in total. So it's going, as you can see here, across the 2 die packs there. So you've got the 1 pack, which is going to make your vase and the pop-out element. And the other one has got 12 dies in there to give you the flowers, the foliage, the stamen, the stems, everything that you need. And as our Michelle was saying, once you make it, look at that, it folds. Oh, there we go. Come down a bit. There we go. Let's go that way a little bit. There we are. You can just see it. Oh, come here. There you go. Look at that. It's all back to front and sideways and whatever. Totally flat. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So dimensional when you open it out, but you can fold it flat or have it as a standalone as well. Now, you're going to have to be a bit quick because of our launch stock. Because a few of you snuck in yesterday, we already have 25% of the stock has gone. So it has gone and sold already. So yeah, we're going to be really busy. Now this is $27.98 or $31.90. Now the actual icing on the cake for this one is you are going to see, and you can see down there, whoops, that side down there, you're going to get an extra 100 bonus points on there. Now if you're platinum or it's your first time ordering with us today, you're going to get it for $22.38 or $25.52. But look at how much you're going to get with this. There is so much included there. So please fill your boots. If you think this is going to be useful, this is summer, this is spring. You could even make this Christmassy. I was saying, I think these would make gorgeous little place settings, so you could have everybody's name popping out of the flowers if you're doing like an afternoon tea. Think about Mother's Day. Think about taking your flowers into hospital and care homes, which we can't do, but you can with your paper flowers. So absolutely beautiful and an absolute must for that. Now, the other things we've got on, and I want to just tell you some of our really good deals and some of the top sellers today. Now, we've got a deal on multimedia dies. So these, you're going to get 6 dies in here, and effectively, you're going to buy 1 and get 5 free. So you're saving over 75%. So you're paying $29.99 or $34.95. Unless you're a platinum member, then you're going to be paying $23.99 or $27.96. Now this is a limited deal and it really is very limited. Let me just say, I can count on the fingers of one hand, not two hands, how many of this deal we have got left. So effectively, you're going to be buying the daisy die. It's a multimedia die. I've cut through leather with this, faux leather, you know, fabric, felt. You know, it looks gorgeous as a panel on a bag or however you want to do it. Now, you're paying for that, and you're going to get let me find the names. You're going to get the decorative panel. No, where is it? Where's it gone? Where's the name on this? I can't see a name on that. Just says decorative panel on that one. So yeah, decorative chevron. Thank you, chevron. You've also got. Is that retro? Yeah, yep. Decorative retro panel. You've got your decorative ellipse panel. Sorry, there we go. You have got your decorative flower panel. That looks lovely when that's cut out. Can you see on there how that works? And then you've got your decorative leaf panel. Again, an absolutely stunning one. And all of those are free if you buy your daisy one. But be quick, please. Like I say, we've got 4 left. So I wanted to get that one in nice and quickly for you. So, Becky, oh dear, she's got, did I say Becky at the wrong point there? She just had this mass of red twine.
Oh, I feel like a kitten playing with some twine. I'm almost ready. I just got to thread my needle because I just pulled that out.
So I will grab the dies that you're going to be using. Yeah. So as far as I'm aware, you are going to be using our gorgeous multimedia dies. So these are our so lovely ones. So we've got the cross stitch stitch hoop, the rick rack ribbons and the decorative ribbons as well. So these are saving 60% on this. So look at this. I love this die. You're going to get the gorgeous cross-stitch hoop in here. Think of all the things you can be doing. So this is where you can take some of your sewing dies into multimedia and into paper craft as well. Now 60% on these should be $27.97, but today you're going to be paying $11.99 or $16.95. But I mean, look at that platinum price down there, just down there, $9.59 or $13.56. That's effectively paying for your cross-stitch hoop, and then you're getting for free, you're getting your Rick Wrap ribbons. That's easier said than done, and also your decorative ribbons. Get those in the right place so you can see them. Those are your free ones. 60% saving. Absolutely perfect. Are you ready, Becky? Have I given you a minute?
Thank you. Gave you loads of time.
That's okay.
Do you know what? Threading a needle is difficult enough. Threading a needle under a time constraint is absolutely, it was so difficult anyway. So I'm going to be doing a bit of paper craft.
Wow.
Just for,
that's
you
nice.
know. Well, I've had a little bit of help from Michelle in here earlier today. These dies, this particular die here, this one creates an amazing little cross-stitch panel for you to work on. So I thought what I would do, we will run it through the machine and then I'll show you what I'm going to be doing cross-stitch. And this actually makes a really nice item for somebody that is crafty, that does sew. Perhaps you want to do a nice sort of card for somebody that's patchwork or cross-stitcher. This is absolutely ideal, but it's also quite good because you can make something that looks, you know, you can design it the way you want to. You can have a little Christmas tree you could stitch on here. You could use your pens. So if you didn't want to actually use cross-stitch, didn't want to use thread, you could use your pens to create the kind of cross-stitch imagery using these little holes. So what I'm using is just some of our normal stamping card, normal or multi-purpose card, and I'm going to run it through my Gemini. You can see I've used it quite a lot today. Just to cut all these various parts out. Now this is our multimedia die, so it's a tough one. It's copper coloured. You can use this to cut fabric. However, what I would say is if you're going to be using fabric, you would need to use some kind of stabiliser on the fabric before you run it through the Gemini, because you can see you've got lots of little tiny holes here and they tend to be quite difficult to cut with your normal cotton. So if you've got some cotton fabric, you need to make sure you use some of that stabiliser or some starch on there just to make it a bit more rigid. So it's almost like card, and then it will cut out better when you put it through your machine. I will only sort of suggest that you cut one piece of fabric with that stabiliser on, even though you're using these multimedia dies. If you're going to be cutting this out of felt, which once again would be a really great option, again I'd use a thicker felt than perhaps you often use for when we're doing those sort of blooms. We have some flowers previously with our multimedia dyes. We use quite a soft felt for those. I want to use something a little bit more rigid because you want it to hold its shape, hold its structure in order for you to use those cross-stitch pieces. So we're going to place that on our metal shim and then tape it down, and then I'm going to use my frosted shim. I'm not going to tape, I didn't tape it down very well, did I? Knocked it off. And then frosted shim and my clear plate, and I'll run it through the Gemini. And I just thought, actually, this is quite a nice thing to do, you know, rather than, you know, the normal stuff that I do, which is always, you know, just about fabric. It's quite nice to use fabric in different ways. You may have lots of scraps of fabric that you want to use in your card making, which is a really nice idea, doing some machine embroidery on there. Oh, it moved. I'll have to do that again. That wasn't very good. Talk to yourselves and tape it down better than I did there. It's you know, it's a great idea to do something that's a little bit different with your sort of card making, or you know, if you do so and you want to do a little bit of cross stitching, this is a great option. If you've already got your Gemini, because you're using that for all of those different activities, you know, different using your for your patchwork, you might as well use your Gemini for some other things as well, like, you know, using it for card making. And I think, you know, we found a lot of people have bought their Geminis and maybe only use it for one particular thing. Yeah. You know, as paper crafters, you know, often paper crafters only ever use it for paper craft. You don't sort of step out of your comfort zone. I think everybody is the same. You use it for the same sort of things. I'm going to take this down really well this time.
It's not moving this time, is it not, Becky?
It's not going
I don't know. I think it's the way we stand sideways onto the machine. Yeah. You tilt the plates.
You do.
It's an unnatural position to be in. It wouldn't be how you would have your plates at home. So we tilt the plates, and I've done it so many times. The dies move and the paper stays still. It just happens.
I mean, I think, like you say, when you're at home, oh, I'm just trying to get that round the right way.
You're there, that's it.
When I'm at home, I have this on a Lazy Susan.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and that just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, you can turn it round towards you. You're not trying to do it front ways on, are you?
No,
there
exactly.
We go.
Hopefully that's gone through nicely. My mum's a great fan of cross stitch, and I know Craig's a great fan of cross stitch. So last year he did a lot of cross stitch little cards for Christmas.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, no, on like normal cross stitch fabric. But this is just another option.
It's just nice, isn't it, to cross over the different crafting styles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my mum cross stitched for years and years. I've got some lovely pictures at home that she's done for my children.
That's nice.
Years. Yeah.
I think, you know, it's nice to try something a little bit different. Cross stitch is really simple, really easy to do. You know, you can't really make many mistakes with it.
And it's nice having it on a card as well, isn't it? Because it adds texture and dimension to your projects, which is really lovely. Is it coming out? There we go.
Yep.
There
so what we're going to do is we're going to use, I've just done some cut it out of ordinary card, but actually cutting it out of craft card is a really good option.
Yeah.
These little perforations, these little holes generally come out absolutely fine because I ran it through the Gemini badly last time, I still hadn't got rid of all of my little pieces.
But then again, when you do your cross stitch, you actually just poke them out. Yeah. I often, because I did some embroidery ones, and I said if they haven't popped out, they're cut but not popped out. Yeah. Don't worry about it, because when you're cross stitching, they just pop out with the needle, don't they?
Exactly.
I like how it does the hoop and the bit separately. So if you want to do, like you said, crafts card, that's going to look, oh, there you go. It's as if I knew what you were doing.
It does work really well because you can then put it in there and it looks like, you know, that wooden hoop that you would have as your embroidery, and you generally have white or off-white colours, but you could then use that for something else. Nice. The one that I've used for here for today, I've actually cut out another version in gold glitter card. So I've got different options here. Probably can't quite see it because if you're looking against the craft card, but there are all those different options. You cut them out of all those different cards that you happen to have, and you only need a very small piece. So great for using up your stash. Now what we're going to do is I've already cut my piece of thread. What have I done with it?
Is it on a needle somewhere?
Oh dear, it's one of those days. Now, If you've heard me talking about embroidery thread before, if you've never used it before, it's actually 6 strands.
Yeah.
And normally you take away a couple of strands, and that would be what you embroider with, 2 strands, maybe 3 strands, that kind of thing. But we want to use the whole 6 here because these perforations are quite large. Now actually, if you wanted to use something like wool, chenille wool would work really well because it's nice and thick, maybe some raffia, some twine, there's all sorts of different options that you could do with this. Normally, when I cut a piece of embroidery thread, I only have it from the tip of my finger to my elbow.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because otherwise it gets tangled up and it becomes quite difficult. But because this is a bit thicker, I've actually cut it a bit longer.
Right.
So actually it's probably about twice the length here.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be I'm not going to be tying any knots in it, and because I haven't split it, it's quite smooth, if you know what I mean. When you touch embroidery thread, it's quite silky and smooth, but when you take apart those little threads, those strands, it becomes a little bit more
Fibrous.
Yeah, a little bit, almost like, you know, almost like my hair when it needs a condition. It feels a little bit like that. It sort of catches on itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of cross stitching here. You could do whatever you wanted to do. I am going to go for a heart. So I'm just going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So any cross stitch patterns that you've got at home, you could just copy onto here. You could draw something on the back, I suppose, in pencil, a shape, and cross stitch that, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Or use a heat erasable pen to mark on it.
I love how they've left it blank and almost given you complete control.
Yeah. It does make it nice and easy. Now what I've done on the back is I've not put a knot in there. I've just had my little tail of my thread, and I've just been holding it, and then I've been securing it against those other stitches just to keep it nice and neat. So I'm going to go down, I think I want to go down 6.
So you're
Something
doing
like that.
all in one direction first? And
Yeah,
then
I
you
do
go
all in
back
one
up?
direction because then it looks neater. Now, my mum embroiders, and she was always told that the back of your piece of embroidery should be as neat as your front.
Oh, should it?
Mine never is.
No.
I think that's a nice idea, but the reality is it just doesn't happen.
No.
But you try and keep it as neat as possible, so you don't want sort of any crossing over. I found because I'm going to do a little heart here. The easiest way of doing it is starting in the middle to make sure you've got everything there accurately, and then I'm just going to go up on the opposite way and create that cross.
Do you know, I've got a piece of cross stitch. It's not a big one.
Yeah.
I started it a lot of years ago, and it's been in a cupboard. I really ought to just get it finished, you know.
Wow,
One of those things.
Now, yesterday when we had the show, I was talking about all of those projects that we all have, and none of us finish, because something else, life gets in the way, or something more exciting you buy.
Yes.
And we're all just do the same thing. But I've got lots of crafts that I've purchased. I've started, starting packs, and I've not actually done. And so I was quite interested in finding out what other crafts people have always wanted to do and never actually got round to doing. So is there a craft that you do or you'd like to do that you've never actually got round to trying out, but you've bought all the bits and pieces?
I haven't bought it because I actually don't know where to start, but I keep thinking I would quite like to do santangling.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I look at some of the images that people do, and I'm like, I've got a friend, Hannah, and she does a lot, and I watch it, and I'm like, wow. And Sandra does it, and then somebody else called Angie, who I know, she does some. And they are amazing. And I keep thinking, do I do it? And then I keep thinking, you don't have time, Corrine. Because it would be all the gear, no idea type attitude. But I know that if I sat down and did it, I'd probably have the best time. What I need to do is I need to go to my friend Hannah's and say, right, we're going to have a day santangling or something, and get her to set me going, or go to one of Sandra's workshops.
If you've got a friend that's doing a craft, then it's quite good because you've got somebody to teach
off.
you, haven't you? Yeah.
That's probably the one. I mean, it's still a paper craft. I've got a sewing machine, and like I say, I've had a go at cross stitch, but...
And you've made a quilt. Yeah, so, you've done a bit of everything, really.
Yeah, I've had a go. When I was expecting my first daughter, I made all her cot bedding, and I put ruffle around the edge. It was a lovely cot quilt, ruffle around the edge, made her bumper. I did the lot. I even made her clothes.
I might go home.
No, don't. I made her little leggings and all sorts. Oh. And then I had 2 more children, and it was like, no, not a chance.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what everybody else has done. I'll have a look at some of the comments that we've got, because lots have come in. While you're doing that, shout up or give me a wave if you need to tell us. Well, we've got lots of people commenting. I like this one, this comment. I just saw it a few minutes ago. Janko says, good morning from the Smoky Mountains. Enjoying a retreat for my birthday, sitting by the fire in a mountain cabin.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It does,
we are
doesn't it?
all jealous about
We
that.
are extremely jealous. Happy birthday, Jan. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If it's been your birthday recently, I hope you had a great birthday. We've got Donna Marie says, in Canada, we have Christmas crackers, but the commercial ones are pretty sad. Not good things in them. Now, that's it, you see. Make your own. I can spend... One of the longest things it takes me on my Christmas shopping to do is to find the right Christmas crackers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they have to be silver. That's my colour combination for the table. They have to be silver, but they have to have nice presents in. Yeah, so it takes me ages.
There was a set one year which had wind-up penguins, and you basically did a little penguin race, which I thought was quite a good idea, because we have terrible crackers. I mean, my mum bought them, is buying them this year, but normally... I don't think any of my family are watching, but they're terrible. I mean, they are awful. They're full of... I was saying this to Leanne last week. Leanne and I both have really big heads, and so Christmas hats do not fit on our heads.
Yeah.
And they're always rubbish. And you always get some, you get like a plastic comb that's big enough to do your eyebrows.
Yeah.
You just...
Or one of those curly up fishes.
Oh, yeah, I quite like those.
Yeah. They never fit any heads in our house.
No.
Yeah. You jam them on your head and they rip in half, don't they?
Exactly. And I just think they're rubbish. So unless you're going to go down the route of having a very expensive Christmas cracker, they're all pretty rubbish unless you make your own, aren't they?
Yes. Right, now, just a minute. Right. Stephen Lee Guy says, top tip, girls, get a toothbrush, place the cotton across the bristles, then press the needle into the bristles, threads first time every time.
Oh, what, for threading on the needle? So, sorry, say that again. You get a toothbrush.
Place the cotton across the bristles, then press the needle into the bristles, threads first time every time.
Oh, I'll try that. I won't try it with my electric toothbrush, because you could just end up with a really big mess, couldn't you?
Yeah, you just twiddle, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be coming into work with thread in my teeth.
If you've got a spare toothbrush that's, a nice new one, rather than one that's got like old toothpaste on. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Rosalind says, I've Mod Podged fabric, let it dry overnight, then use my multimedia dies to cut it.
Oh, yes.
That's
great.
a nice idea. Rachel on social media says, those pieces out the centre would be great for putting in shaker cards.
They would be. Yeah, in fact, I cut all those ones out of the gold, and I was thinking, I should be using this for something rather than just sweeping them in the bin.
We can only keep so much stuff.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Sandra says, my card making started with cross stitch, but I couldn't keep up with the stitching to make enough cards, so ventured into paper crafting 16 years ago and then found Crafter's Companion. Brilliant. Zoe says, I got into card making through cross stitch. You see how many people have that? I think it's the same comment. Used to make cross stitch cards. Can't sit long enough to cross stitch at the moment, so turn to card making. I can do a little bit, then have a rest.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Helen Moore says, I'm currently doing some Christmas cross stitches for cards again this year. I've had my eye on the cross stitch dies. They're a great addition to cards. There you go. Look, you can buy like this. I think they are gorgeous. Cynthia said, this would be a great tool to teach your child to cross stitch. You can draw simple patterns on the card. Yeah, ingenious. I like that idea, Cynthia. Rachel, our social superstar, says, I seem to collect crafts as I jewellery make, sew and paper craft, but I'd love to try macrame.
Yes, I've always quite liked the idea of macrame, but there's no one around to show me. And I think it's one of those crafts that you need somebody to sort of teach you.
My daughter did it from YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she made a couple of things, and she did it all from YouTube.
Oh.
You need some time.
I do. Leanne's going to teach me to crochet. Leanne or Sarah, one of them has, well, they both said they're going to teach me to crochet.
Oh, nice.
Because I can't crochet. I just can't do it. I've tried so many times, so I've had people...
I can do running stitch. I can crochet running stitch, you know.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
But I've never tried any more than that. Jane Johnson says, try the loop method with the thread, then you don't have any ends to hold. 3 strands and double the length. Put the 2 ends together and thread through the needle. Then as you go under for your second stitch, put the needle back through the loop at the back. Easier than it sounds.
Yes, it's
wow, that
it's
blew
a really
my mind.
it's a really great way of doing it because it keeps everything nice and tidy. And you're absolutely right. It does mean you don't have any knots to deal with. I should have done that for this, but I didn't. I totally forgot about it. But you're absolutely right. It's a really great thing to do. I've done that bit. Now.
There we go. You see,
So it's
what a
quite
lovely
quick.
craft to do.
Yeah.
We've just been talking,
Guessing.
and you know, and that's absolutely perfect.
And you could obviously use it in all sorts of different ways. So if you had, for example, if you had something here, you might want to put it on a point and then do just sort of stitches, long stitches, and create like a Christmas tree going down.
Oh, that would be lovely,
You could do
wouldn't
something
it?
like that. So I'm just using a heat erasable pen. You could do that. Obviously, then you could rub it out with the friction thing at the back. But you could then use your head dryer on it to get rid of all of those. There's all sorts of things you could do with this. You might just want to use it almost like a mandala and just sort of stitch around in different colours. That would look equally as nice. So I'm going to start putting this together. So I've just done a really, really quick and easy card, and I've used some of our fabrics. So this is some of the gingerbread lane fabric. This is actually the cookies one, which I've stuck onto some black card. I've got some craft card here, so I'm just making a quick and easy card here. I thought I'd go for the gold. I think I'll go for this here. So it's slightly Scandinavian kind of thing we've got here.
That's
and then
lovely.
putting your little Noel piece here.
Oh, I
but
love
you can
the
make,
look
you
of
can do
that.
this for all sorts of different things. I've got a few, don't know what I've done with my ribbon. Ribbon's disappeared, I'll find that in a moment. But I'll just start putting this together. But I just think, you know, I personally have got loads of bits of fabric, Christmas fabric, dotted around. Why is this tape pen not working? I have to find a different tape pen. Lots of fabric around, and sometimes you don't quite have enough to make something that you're going to stitch with.
Yeah.
But actually, it's so nice you want to use it for some other craft. Using a little bit of fabric in your card making is a great option. And sometimes, you know, you get, and we've had this before, where we've had some beautiful fabrics. We don't have them as sort of paper. But paper pads, but you could obviously use those if you wanted to.
It works though, doesn't it? Because
yeah.
you've got the fabric lovely in there. I just saw you using the tape pens, so you need to have a look on our website because our tape pens today are on a buy 3 get 1 free. So $14.97 or $20.85 if you want the solid tape pens. That's the only ones we've got left, I'm afraid, at the moment, but absolutely perfect. So I think the details are going to be all the way down there for you. So 22 metres of permanent tape. So that's 88 metres in total to save 25% because you're getting 1 for free. And yeah, you can see it crosses over, you know, mixes brilliantly with your paper craft as well as your fabric crafts as well. So
they are
that
real
is brilliant.
staples, aren't they? Your tape pens for
yes.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't use them often, but when I do use them and I don't have quite enough, you know, you run out. It's horrifying if you haven't
Christmas.
got enough.
Wrap your presents with your tape pens.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Do you know, I've never thought about doing that before, but I'm definitely doing that this year.
They look so much neater.
Or
so
wrapping Christmas presents in tin foil. You
Okay.
don't need, you
Don't
just
need
wrap,
any
you
tape.
don't need any tape.
Yeah. I don't actually know how to answer that, but
I'm not saying that that's what I do, but it is an option. No, I'm quite fastidious about my wrapping, and I love to wrap presents.
oh, do you?
Oh my God, I love it. It is my favourite, not in tinfoil. But in fact, when I was a teenager, I used to get paid by my friends to wrap Christmas presents.
Perfect.
So they just come over, they give me all the wrapping paper, they give me all the presents. You know, I'd get.
Do you do fancy folds and things like that?
I do, and
I
go a bit mental with decorations. So I like to have. Sometimes I make my decorations out of air dry clay.
Oh, wow.
And I also put people's names on them. I might make giant baubles out of card and have them. Sometimes I've made them out of little pieces of wood. I've done all sorts of things. You can pay me to do yours if that's what you want.
She's getting orders here. Jamie,
yeah, exactly.
George is like,
I'm doing
yeah,
quite well
can you
at
do mine?
this.
Can you do mine, please? Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it does need a little bit of ribbon up here, a little bow up here. So I'll just quickly make one of those. But you can see it's quite quick and easy to make that little card. And I quite like the whole kind of Scandinavian look to it by having all the red and the white.
It's definitely got a very Scandi feel, does that? But I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. And it just shows how, if you're into your paper crafts, but you also like to do a bit of sewing, I mean, how personalised is this? Because it crosses the two crafts over absolutely brilliantly.
I mean, maybe doing initials on there. That would be quite
that
nice,
would look lovely, wouldn't it?
You know, no, that sort of thing. Sort of personalise it in that kind of way. Or maybe you've made something, you've stitched something together, you've made a quilt or something as a gift for your friend, and then you want to give them a card as well, that you've stitched also. So that is another option that you can do. So I'll put a little bit of glue on here. So
I've got lots of comments going back. Sil Sparkly says, do it, Corrine. Once you get the hang of it, you can easily do tangling in the evening, watching TV, etc. I think that's what I need. If I'm picking up another craft, I need a craft that's not going to take me away from the family any more than it already does. Absolutely brilliant. Stephen Lee Guy says, I bought everything to needle felt, never started it. Oh, that's an impressive one. Have a go, Stephen. You've got everything there. Terry Anderson says, I too got a Santangle book and need to try it. Other people keep me busy this time of year. I've 8 curtains to hem, 7 stockings to machine embroider, and a
partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, a quillo to make. What's a quillo?
Is that like a quilted pillow?
I'm guessing it is.
I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, Terry, what's a quillo? Is it a quilted pillow? We hope it is. Cynthia says she'd also like to try Santangle. I bought a book to learn with. My granddaughter was so fascinated by it because she loves doodling that I let her have it. Reality is, I know I don't have time to learn a new craft. Yeah, I think it's about making time. It's all about that mindfulness, isn't it?
It is. And it does take a bit of time to learn to do a new craft and learn to do it well. I think we all want to learn how to do it well, don't we?
Exactly. We've got Rosalind. There's so many comments here. Rosalind says, Sandy first, says, my mother and I made cross-stitch perforated paper Christmas cards years ago. This demo reminds me of that. Wonderful keepsakes. I love that we're triggering memories and doing, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Rosalind said, crochet is my stress reliever craft. I just finished a wedding blanket for a friend.
Oh,
I haven't heard of a wedding blanket.
Can I be your friend? I mean, I think that's quite nice if someone can make you a crocheted blanket. I mean, like I say, I could crochet something about that big and then I'd cry and have to go and find someone to fix it for me because I'm not very good at it.
Brian Dickey says, I have all the supplies to start cross-stitching but never really learned. Deanna says, my main crafts are card making and crocheting, but I also cross-stitch, scrapbook, quilting, knitting, jewellery making and many other crafts. I don't tat or macrame, but the only crafts I've never delved into. Lots of love for your card from Brian and everything. And Jan says, I'm getting my fabric scraps out after seeing this. Now, we've just been told a quillo is a quilt that folds into its own pocket to make a pillow. Oh. So it's a proper quilt that becomes a pillow.
I'd like to see some pictures.
We'll have to do a Google and have a look.
Yeah.
Quillo.
Yeah, quillo. I like that idea.
Becky, we've talked all the way through you doing that, but that is absolutely gorgeous. I do love that. I love that you brought the fabrics into it, the cross stitch, the textures on there. That is gorgeous. Now, that is, you said, from the Gingerbread Lane fabric, and we're going to look at that in a minute. But first, we're going to look at the fabric of the week.
Fabric of the week.
Fabric of the week. Right, now, these are absolutely gorgeous, and they come in anything from 0.5 to 8 metre continuous lengths. It's 100% cotton, and it's approximately 44 inches wide. So the first one, grass, which one am I doing? Grass is on red. Right. It didn't tell me which ones I was doing first, sorry. Grass is on red is the first one. Look at the colours on that. Isn't that gorgeous? $6.29, so that's for your half metre length. But if you want 2-3 metres, you put in the quantity and then it will come in a continuous length. $6.29, $9.44 in America. So, but look at that platinum price. Then we had buds on red. That was my next one. That was lucky. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the colours in there. I just think that is so pretty. And all of these are going to mix and match together. So gorgeous. What was it? Grasses on red is my next one. Grasses on red. Oh, grasses and silhouette on red. Sorry, there we go. There we go. Look at that. So this is grasses and silhouette on red. Isn't that? That is really, really pretty. There we go. That's grasses and silhouette. There we go. It's coming up. There we are. Grasses and silhouette. Same price, £5.03 or $7.55 for a ½ metre. But like I say, if you want 2 metres, put in 4 and you're going to get it in a solid. So the next one we've got is grasses on green.
That's my favourite.
Is that your favourite? It's lovely, isn't it? It's a really...
Bridgerton colours.
Yes.
Don't you think? You know,
Yes.
all the colours they had in Bridgerton, that kind of
Yes.
Regency.
Yeah,
kind of
it's
look
very
to it.
regal, isn't it? Regency, and yes, absolutely gorgeous. So the next one we're going to do, should we do Dipsy tulips on green? I'm not sure why these are called tulips. We're not going to go into that. But there we go. They are, it is Dipsy tulips, but
Maybe it's a certain type of tulip.
I would call it Dipsy daisies.
Yeah.
But there we go. But the name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. It is a gorgeous colour, and it's a lovely green. It's a, I mean, this was your grasses on green, but that is your Dipsy tulips on green. And then we've got Dipsy tulips on yellow. There we go. There, 10% off these on the normal price, should be £6.99. You're going to get them for £6.29 or £5.03 or $7.55 if you are in the US. So please pick the one you want, or maybe pick a couple. I mean, let me just sort of spread those out so you can see. They are absolute. Look at those. Look at how they all work so beautifully together. The kaleidoscope of colours is beautiful. Yeah, it's like Becky, we stroke our fabrics. We look after our fabrics. Right, now, the next one I want to show you is our Tool Tidy and other gifts. So you've got, your Tool Tidy is effectively free. There you go. You're not going to pay for your Tool Tidy. But what you are going to buy is curved scissors. Becky, why do I want curved scissors?
Because you can, they're particularly good when you're doing embroidery and things like that and stump work, because they sort of skim the surface of your fabric.
Right.
But actually, I use them for all sorts of things. I find them really useful for when I'm stitching on my sewing machine and it gets tangled, because it does all the time. They're great because they've got that little curve. They can just sort of slip in underneath.
I just wondered, because not being a sewer, I just wondered why I might want curved stitches, curved scissors, sorry. Then I've got my erasable fabric pens. Now, I can understand why I'd want those. So, yeah, absolutely perfect. You can draw on, especially if you're doing things like your cross stitch, draw your patterns, where you want to sew.
Yeah, and then you can rub them out with like the friction end.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, use an iron, or if you're using some very, like things like felt, which you don't want to iron, you just use the hairdryer. And that will then get rid of the marks as well. So really, really useful.
You've also got your, what do we call this?
This is your binding tool.
It's like your binding tool. I knew what it was. Can you see that? Can you see that there? Just about. That's your binding tool. So you've got the point, so it helps to create binding.
So when you've got binding around a quilt, so for example, if I show you on this here, here, where you've got this edge here. So this is, obviously when you're going around the binding, hopefully you can just see that, that's a join here. When you're going around the binding, your binding, it's never going to be long enough to cover your whole of your quilt. You're going to have to join it somewhere. And what you want to do is you want to have a nice diagonal join here. And that little tool helps you do that. So you get a nice sharp edge to it.
Oh, perfect. And the other bit you're going to get is your fabric clips. Now, I use these in my paper crafting all the time. I'd be lost without these. I think they're absolutely brilliant. But they're obviously designed initially for your sewing. They're going to hold your fabrics together. Really good if you've got delicate fabrics, aren't they? Because you're not putting pin marks into them.
Or very thick fabrics.
All right,
So if you've got something like, if you're making a quilt and you've got all those different layers of your fabric as well as your wadding or your batting in the middle, they're too thick and they're difficult to hold together. So those are brilliant. They make a massive difference. And especially, like you say, if you're using something delicate or something like faux leather or real leather, you don't want any of those pin marks, and they will just hold everything together. But I use them loads, for everything.
Yeah, so that is $27.96 or $36.79. You are saving over 25%, and like you said, you're going to get your Tool Tidy for free. But look at that platinum price, £22.37 or $29.43. So that is sort of our fabric selection for the day today. So, Becky, you're going to show us the builder block next, aren't you?
The builder block of the week.
Is that like fabric of the week, builder block of the week?
Everything's got a little jingle. As far as
all the same sound.
Everything's got a jingle, hasn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, so this is your builder block. So this is one of the designer collections that we've done. So when we've done all sorts of different builder blocks. We've done the original builder block, which had the squares and the triangles in it. We did the builder block plus, which had the rectangles, isosceles triangles, and half rectangle triangles in it. We've also done ones with curves, and then we did a whole selection of different ones through designers. So we did ones with Joe Avery and Karen Lewis, and this is the Eastham one here. So these ones are brilliant because they are slightly different shapes, and we've given you the projects in there. So on the front of each of these packs, you'll get 3 different projects. So this one has a project to make a table runner, a quilt, and also a cushion in there. We've given you step-by-step instructions. So when you have a look at them, my one's well loved. When I open mine, everyone else's bits and pieces, they all look nice and tidy. Mine always looks a mess. I think it's because I use fabric. So you've got all of your different shapes in here, and then further through your little booklet, you've got all of those different shapes and how to cut them out. So we look about the grain line, how you cut them on your fabric, and make sure you do that correctly. And then it gives you step-by-step instructions about how to put everything together. So later on today, I'm going to be using this just in sections. I'm not doing a whole project using a whole block. I'm just going to be using sections for what I'm doing for a Christmassy item. But if I show you what these designs look like, they are really, really beautiful. They are very, they look quite ornate, quite vivid in these different colours. Obviously, you could be using all of your beautiful fabric from Fabric of the Week. They would work really well together to create all those different designs.
It would, wouldn't they? That would look really
yeah,
lovely.
really beautiful if you were sort of swapping out, say, the green here and then having maybe one of these ones for that colour here. You could make that look really nice, very sort of autumnal kind of colours to it. So that's the table runner there. And then we've got the quilt. So they're using the same shapes, but by using the same shapes in a different way. So it looks very different.
I can still see the circle, but by doing it slightly different, yes, it comes very different.
Using colours in a different way, it looks totally different, but you can see that is a really lovely quilt. And these, like I say, you get in these designer builder blocks that we've got, you'll get shapes that aren't your standard shapes. So when we've been doing our main builder blocks, you're getting, you know, the triangles, the squares, you might be getting the bay leaf shapes. You're getting all those sort of key shapes that are quite traditional, but with this one, you've got some quite unusual shapes in here. So you've got things like, what is that called? Trapezium? No. I don't know.
It might be.
That shape. Four sides, trapezium?
Trapezium, but with rounded corners,
Well, you will have rounded corners because we've taken the seam allowance off here. So when you actually stitch together, you're going to be sewing from point to point. So there's little dog ears take into account the seam allowance, and they're just sort of trimmed off. And then you've got these other sort of triangles. You've got a right angle triangle over here, and then you've got that diamond shape. So all of those shapes put together in slightly different ways, as you'll find in the little booklet, will make those different patterns. So that's the builder block of the week that we've got today, and I'll be showing you how to use that a little bit later on.
Oh, I look forward to that. So that's $19.59 or $22.37 if you're in the US. So have a go with that. Now, something else that would work brilliant with those is your So Boho and Gingerbread Lane fabrics, which are absolutely gorgeous. So you haven't got to pick which you want in these. So each of these are ½ metre lengths, although this one feels a lot bigger than that one. It goes just with the way it's folded and done. So this is your boho. Look at the colours here. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? They are beautiful, really fresh and spring-like, aren't they? Absolutely beautiful. I mean, as somebody who's into paper craft, you automatically think how you're going to mix 2 colours together and mix and match them. Absolutely gorgeous, and I can't see any combination, so I'm looking at that thinking those go together and that goes together, but that goes with that, you know, I can see. Now you're going to get this one, which is your 6-piece boho one, and then you're going to get this one, which is your 5-piece gingerbread lane. Again, look at that, really gorgeous quite modern patterns. So you've got the little gingerbread house. So there's two there that are very, is that a bigger piece? The gingerbread on, there we go. So normally this one on its own should be $29.99, but we're giving you the two together today for £26 or $28. That one should be how much did you say? That should be 35 and that should be 29. So you're saving £39.98 or $42.90. Absolute bargain. 60% saving. If you're a platinum member today, you're going to just pay the price down there of £20.80 or $22.40. I think that's beautiful. And if you are into fabrics, you're just going to love these perfectly. Now, the next one we want to look at are your Hawaiian dyes. So with your Hawaiian dyes, what you're effectively doing is you're buying your, let's say, your Hawaiian pineapple. There you go. That should be $29.99, $34.95. Absolutely perfect. Becky's going to show me what we're going to do with that, or talk to me about what we might do with that. Talk to me.
These are really clever because all you do, when you look at the sample there, it looks quite complicated. And you can imagine if you had to cut that out of fabric, that shape, you'd be there forever.
You would.
So you treat it a little bit like, you know those snowflakes you made as a child, where you got a piece of paper and you folded it in half and then quarters and you cut round. That's what you're going to be doing.
Oh, is that what we're going to do?
So you basically get a piece of fabric.
You fold it. There's no blade round the outside.
Yeah, you fold your fabric. So if I show you for this sample here. So this is obviously too big, but you would cut your piece of fabric the right size. You folded it in half, so I've got a fold here. You fold it in half again, like that, and then you're going to place that die along here and run it through the machine.
Right, yes.
So where you've got these folds, it's not going to cut on those corners, those edges, so that where you've got these folds here. So it'll cut all that shape out here. And then you open it up and it looks like one of those kind of snowflakes you make as a child. So a really beautiful, very, very quick way of making some designs. In actual fact, you know, my mum said, oh, I love that one. There's a hibiscus one in that collection,
so that
which
to
is
me
lovely.
Reminds me of a pineapple.
Yeah.
That says Hawaiian applique. So you're effectively buying that one, and then everything else I'm going to show you is free, because this should be £129.95. 129. You are saving pence short of £100 on this one. So this is brilliant. So you're not going to be paying for the hibiscus, which is absolutely beautiful. You're not going to be paying for the breadfruit, again, which is another lovely one. And you're not going to be paying for the Thai leaf. Look at this up here. Isn't that impressive? You couldn't do that without a dye. No. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, that goes down even more to $23.99 or $27.96 if you want to get those. And it also says a free pressing sheet, but I don't know what that is.
So you've got, there's an applique pressing sheet that you've got in it. We haven't got that on the show, but you roll it out and it just makes sure that when you're using applique, particularly with that one, because you want to use some kind of spray adhesive on the back of it, or you'd want to use some kind of iron-on adhesive, something like Bondaweb or Vaseline, that you then cut out. But you don't want to ruin your ironing board, so you put your pressing sheet down and put it over the top.
So you're going to get that as well in this bundle. So that is absolutely perfect. So yeah, wow, what a saving. Look at that. Yeah, you can see it there. The pressing sheet is included in that. That is probably monetary one of our biggest deals that we've got today at all. So you've got a lot more to show us in at 2 o'clock, have you?
I have, yeah. So we're going to be doing something with a foundation paper piecing pad. Ooh, that sounds like a tongue twister, foundation paper piecing pad. This has revolutionised how I do sewing. I never bothered doing foundation paper piecing because it was too difficult. This has changed my view because actually it made it super easy, very, very quick. And I've started, like I said, I started on a 3-metre square quilt now, which I would never have attempted. I've not finished it, but I am around about, I'd say about a quarter of the way through, and I wouldn't have done it without this because this is great. And then I'll be showing you some Christmassy things. So we've got a Christmassy stocking, and we've got some crackers as well.
Can't wait. That will be absolutely fantastic. Now, before Becky leaves us and Michelle joins us. I just want to remind you of the 12 days of Craftmas that we have going on at the moment. Now today's deal, day 2, is 3 for 2 on Spectrum Noir. So go on to our website and have a look at all of our Spectrum Noir goodies. Now pop any of those into your basket and you're going to be able to get those on a 3 for 2. So maximise the amount that you save. It'll be absolutely perfect. Now, yes, Michelle. Name. Whoa, I was like, wow. Michelle has just walked into the room and she is going to get ready to show us a little bit more with this fantastic launch that we've got coming up later today. So here's a quick VT while we swap over. Michelle comes in and Becky goes out. So see you in a minute.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Well, welcome back. We've all changed round in here, and Becky's gone off to make sure she's all ready to show us some more bits at 2 p.m. And Michelle's made her way into the studio, so she's all ready to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of this fantastic launch that we have got coming up at 6 o'clock. Now, before we came on air, we had sold 25% of the stock. We're now at 40% of our launch day stock already gone. So I think Michelle and I could sit down, could have a cup of tea, and you just buy it because it's fantastic. It is amazing. It's flying out the door. So I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get for your money. Now, it's going to come in 2 die sets. So you can buy them individually if you want to, but you don't want to do that. You want to get them as a bundle, because the bundle is the best way to get them. The bundle is the way that's going to give you the most options and, you know, really the most craftability. So the first bit you're going to get is your vase. And Michelle's going to show you all the way how to do it. You need to cut this one out. You can see this die here. You cut this out twice. You can have it plain. You can have it really patterned. You can have it slightly patterned. I like this. Very Remy McIntosh, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. We're giving you the sentiment. With this little one here, it's got a little bit of a dog leg in it. That's going to make your pop-out element, and Michelle will show you how to do that. You get in your bow. Absolutely perfect. So that's all in your vase element. And you can see, once you've done that, your vase will fold flat and then pop back out once it's come out of the envelope. Now, you need to know what to put into your vase. And I'm sure you've got flowers already, so maybe you're going to mix and match those. But I love these. They're quite sort of fantasy flowers. This isn't about trying to make the perfect rose or the perfect dahlia. This is about having fun, crafting and enjoying the craft and making these gorgeous flowers. Now, is this going to be a dahlia? Is it going to be a sunflower? Is it going to be a daisy? It's entirely up to you. Is this one a daisy, or is it a gerbera or a Rebecca or something like that? You know, have fun. This one is to me, is a total fantasy flower. This one's sort of a little bit lily-esque. Absolutely perfect. They're all in there. The florals. Now, these are actually cut and embossed die. So we'll show you how to do those. So you see all of this line detail in there allows you to run it through with your embossing mat, really get that detail and push it through so that you can ink that. Now, talking of inks, I'm going to show you an ink bundle that we've got in a few minutes. But if you want this collection, and please don't hesitate for too long, because like I said, we've already hit 40% of our launch day stock has gone already, and yeah, it's just past midday. It's not even, we're not launching this officially for another 6 hours, so let's see where we're at then. Yeah, Michelle's pulling your face. We're going home early, Michelle. I'll drop you off if we can go home early. Promise, I'll give you a lift. Now, if you want to buy this, then this is £27.98 or $31.90. But if you're a Platinum member, you're not going to pay that. You're going to pay £22.38 or $25.52. But look at the box down below that one. Ooh, down that way. You like that one. Love that box as well. This is showing you that you're going to get an extra 100 bonus points with this purchase. So that is absolutely perfect. So you're going to get the vase, you're going to get the flowers, but once you get them home, what are you going to do with them, Michelle, please?
You're just going to have to give me a minute. Because I've just seen the price.
Yeah, didn't you know?
No, well, yes, but no, but I sort of
yes,
saw
but
it.
No, but.
Yes, but no, but. I've seen it on the screen there, and I was like, right? And then you were like carried on talking, and I'm like, it must be right. So I'm still in a little bit of shock about the price of these, because that is an amazing price, especially for the amount of metal that you're going to be getting.
You're going to get a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, and again, so these pop-up vases, absolutely brilliant. Perfect for making that pop-up vase just on its own. You're going to create a beautiful centerpiece, and again, then you're going to be adding them to all of your other projects that you're going to be making. So you get the pretty vase, which has got your main elements in it, and you also get these lovely instructions. So again,
so useful, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. You've got those in there just to help you along the way, but I think it's once you've done it once, you know, you're all sorted. And then you've got the other die set that's got all those lovely floral leaf flowers. Floral. What else would flowers be other than floral?
Yeah. I mean, my top tip for you, because with those florals, they're on double-sided on your acetate, can I suggest get yourself a metal sheet and put them on. Mine are already off the packets on a metal sheet because I was doing them on a show yesterday at Hobby Maker. I just find it so much easier. When they're double-sided, it keeps them a lot neater.
Yes, definitely.
Right, so this is from the vase section.
So this is from the vase section. So this is your main piece. You're going to be cutting 2 of these out to make your full vase. So let me just get a little bit of tape.
So this is cutting out the main element. It's going to do the scoring lines, and at this point, it's not going to cut out any of the decorative elements. No, it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in, and you can see you've got your Just For You. You've got that lovely bow. These are what are going to give that beautiful. So that's like your Rennie Mackintosh. That's just a floral. So you can cut these straight into here. Yeah.
Or you can cut them into a separate piece and mat and layer it on the top.
Right.
It's entirely up to you. And then this is the one that's going to create those arms on the inside of your vase that allows it to fold flat but then pop up.
But it's also, that's also quite useful because it's going to give you something to anchor your flowers onto, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
So, yes, everyone's loving these. Stephen says, I bought this set 3 a.m. this morning. Love it. Good shopping, Stephen. I'm not going to ask why you were up at 3 a.m. You know, but savvy shopping. Karen Miller says, wow, I have already bought this. Can't wait to make these up next year with my brownies for Mother's Day. This is what we were saying. They are going to make gorgeous gifts for your brownies, for your Mother's Days, for your, you know, for people in hospital, however you want, you know, to use them.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And yes, definitely, because you can't take real flowers into a hospital anymore, can you?
No.
Right, so this is just one side, and what you're going to see, you can see that I've got my score line already in there, and because I'm using craft card, I'm not even needing to burnish it because craft card is brilliant like that. So that is one side of my vase, and this is another side.
Yep.
And again, so you've got this piece, and this has got score lines on it as well. So you're going to fold it in the middle, and then on each end, you've got another score mark. You're going to fold that one back, and you're going to fold that one back, and you've also almost got a W or an M. So that is those pieces. So again, I've already got some of these
yes.
cut out, and I've run them through my little sticker machine. So that is that particular one there. So you can see that I've just run them through and then I've cut them out. So we're going to pop these on the front of here.
So the easiest way to do that is to create the whole panel.
Yes.
Cut it in and then trim them down, isn't it, I think?
It is, definitely.
Definitely. I like that colour combination, craft and peach.
Yes.
That's a bit different, that's
nice. It is, yeah. Yeah, so what you are going to do is, to get these panels, you're going to run this back through your machine in the pink.
Yeah.
But what you're also going to do is you're going to pop this one in the middle.
Yeah.
In fact, let me do it so you can see. So it's so much easier to learn by seeing rather than me just telling you.
We've got lots of time. There are so many people buying these. It is so busy. They're telling me in my ear how many of you are going for this, and it is just off the scale busy. This, you know, yeah, we might be having to make some contingency plans for 6 p.m. because I don't think there's going to be a great deal left. So just do them one at a time. I mean, it'd be nice. You could mix and match your panels if you wanted to.
You absolutely could. You've got those 2 different ones in there, haven't you?
But this is why we're keeping the cost down by giving you the panels. You do it multiple times. It keeps the amount of metal down, and therefore we keep the price at a price that you are going to love. Don't forget that 100 bonus points. Going to add up all your bonus points at the end. You know, it's nice to have that extra little bonus there. There we go. So Michelle will show you this.
I always love a deal with extra bonus points.
Yes.
So let me just, so you saw that I've taped all this down. If I'm going to put more than one die through at a time, I always tape them down. I don't want to run the risk of one slipping and going over the top of another.
I mean, if people are at all concerned, they can just do them individually, can't they?
Absolutely. You don't have to do it like I did. I've done it just a little bit more for speed than anything. So you can see that it's cut out beautifully.
Isn't that beautiful?
If I want to do that on all 3 panels, then I've got a beautiful vase with that see-through element. But all I did to create, because I can see, I don't know if you can see it as well, but I've got that scar line there. So if I just cut down that scar line very carefully, let me just trim that down a little bit more.
Yeah, because you can almost cut it a little bit shy, can't you?
Yes.
A little bit shorter so that it fits in.
That's it. So
Isn't
there
that
you go. So then
beautiful?
that's all I've done. And
Yeah.
we're going to pop that on there. But my other 2, I've already run through my Xyron machine, so I'm going to use these. I'm going to peel that one off and pop that on there.
If you are lucky enough to still have some dotty tape pens left, which we don't have any here, so they keep selling out, then that is another perfect way to stick these down. So yeah, this is why when we do get things like the dotty tape pens in, we say stock up as fast as you can. So yeah, that would be perfect.
I know, because the dotties come into stock and then the normal ones go out of stock.
Do we ever have the 2 at the same time for more than about 2 days?
I don't think so, no.
Never since I've been here. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I think that is so pretty.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. And you can see how easy and simple that is to pop together. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see, no, we're going to use my tacky.
Okay.
Let me just, I was just looking for some, do you know, Tracy's done it again. She said to me, do you need anything? And I was like, no, I've got everything. And I've just had a quick look and I've run out of my 6mm red liner.
All right.
But, I'm not shouting her because she'll give me that Tracy look.
Okay. We'll get you some for 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so what I was going to do is I was going to run it down here.
Yeah.
My 12mm I've got is just a little bit too wide, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm just
Tape
going to...
pen would work?
Tape pen would absolutely work, yeah.
But tacky glue is so strong, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And because it's my pop-up vase, if I'm going to use anything, I'm going to either use my red liner or my tacky glue. The only problem is with craft, it just takes that little bit longer to go off and grab.
Yeah, it's just the fibrous nature of it,
It
isn't it?
is, yeah. I mean, once it has, you know,
it's super robust.
There you go. It really is. So let me just hold that for a second. Just get rid of that.
I mean, that's colour combination I'd never have thought of doing, but it really, really works, doesn't it? Ever
does.
so pretty. Could you imagine? You could potentially, it might be a bit fiddly, but you could potentially paper piece into these, couldn't you?
You absolutely could. So if you've got our paper piecing adhesive sheets or low tack sheets, you would absolutely be able to do that with these.
Even if you just paper piece back into the flower heads and the leaf detail and let the other bits showing through. I think that would
definitely.
look so pretty.
You wouldn't need to do it all. And again, but it's quite mindful doing that. So even with something so small, it's still quite mindful and a lot of fun to do that kind of thing. Right, so we're going to bring this one. In fact, I've got this one already cut out and I've got 3 here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 3 of those. And all you're going to do is you're going to, which is my side that's not glued, it's there. You're just going to stick them together in that triangle and glue them. So I've got these partially stuck together. Just going to stick that last piece together.
I mean, that just makes it double strength. That means it's really strong because you've got your full GSM for your craft card and you've doubled it up. Plus you've got your extra glue strength as well.
Yeah,
and you've got the little arms just on the end, haven't you, that are going to help you to stick it into your card.
That's it. So I've got that little...
propeller.
Yeah, propeller, that's it, absolutely. So I'm going to pop that to the side as well, allow that to dry, and then I'm going to bring in some of my textured cardstock. Now, this is just perfect to use for these flowers. They look absolutely lovely in that texture, they really do.
Textured cardstock GSM, it's around the 200 mark, is it?
I think this is I don't know if it's a 220 or a 240, you'll have to forgive me.
About 220, yes. Yeah. And that's brilliant for the flowers, isn't it?
It is, it's perfect. So definitely for your vase, I'd go with your 300 GSM card, and obviously, you know, you're going to mat and layer over the top. But for your flowers, in fact, what I would say is I've got some next to me. For your stem, either use your 300 GSM, and again, depending on what you're doing, you could double this up. But then for your flower head, definitely use a lighter GSM.
Yeah.
So, scissors, let's cut this down and run a few of these through. So we're going to pop that one on there. just while my vase, the glue is going off and staying nice
perfect
and
order to
tacky.
do it in, isn't it? So it allows everything to set up, you know, to glue to dry.
Yeah, definitely. So let me just cut this down as well. I do like to cut my flowers out of this textured cardstock. It's just a lovely cardstock to use. It really is for your flowers. Let's put that one on there as well. So again,
I do love this, and I love the fact that you can emboss them as well.
Yes.
Just gives an extra detail, and then we'll show you the ink bundle in a minute that works perfectly with this.
It does, yes. I mean, your opaques, your water reactives are all going to look lovely with these. And again, if you're using your opaques, use a little bit of embossing powder and heat set it. That always looks lovely as well. But again, you know, the only limit is your imagination. I felt like an advert saying that. But it's sort of true, you know. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to have a play. And you're going to be like, oh, I can do this, or I can do that. It can go on this, it can go on that. Because it's just one of those die sets that you need.
Hey, you can see all that detail that you could ink through if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It just looks lovely, doesn't it?
It does, definitely. So I've just got a couple of bits here. I've got my lovely, in fact, what you also have, which I haven't cut out, is you've got these pieces here.
Oh, the centres.
So you've got those centre pieces as well. I do have another one somewhere. I just heard it ping off. So you've got your centre pieces that are going to go in... Where's my flower gone?
It's underneath.
Oh, it's there. It's there, look.
Static.
Stuck. So they're going to go in the middle of there. So let me just pop those to the side. So I've got a few that you've just seen me cut out. We're gonna bring this in because it's set and gone off lovely. We're going to have a bit of a... Do you know what? That looks actually nice, just like that, but you're not going to... Yeah. So you don't have to put the arm in if you want it to stay like that. And again, do you know what? If you want to build this up and make it a lot bigger, you could be cutting out 4 or 5 of these and gluing them together. You're going to have a nice centrepiece. Obviously, you're not going to be able to use this one in it, but you would make your own then, because once you've sort of got the idea of making that arm in the middle, we've all made our pop-up boxes with the arms that go across. So, you know, if you want to make this bigger, you're just going to sort of take that template, make it bigger. But that's for our later show. So let's pop this in. You can see that what I'm going to do is you're just going to slot it in and we're going to glue it.
So you've got 6 panels and 3 arms. So you basically need an arm on every alternate seam, don't you? So
definitely.
It's quite easy to work out, so it works out lovely and easy. Now, you are all loving this. As I said, Stephen bought his at 3 a.m. Angela's already bought hers. Kathy Myers, big letter says, got my order in, which brilliant. Oh, Jeffrey, I do feel for you, says, it's hard to think of flowers when I have snow on the ground here in New Hampshire, just 26 degrees Fahrenheit or -4 degrees C, with a bit of wind making it feel colder. Oh, I don't envy you that at all. I like sun. I know some people love snow and cold. No, not for me. And Angela Cruz says, I missed out on the pop-up box die set and I wasn't missing out on these. There you go.
No.
So perfect. No, it's going so fast.
There you go.
That was quick.
So
just pop that in.
I just slotted it in the top. I've pushed it maybe about 1/4 of an inch down. You can have it a little bit further to the top if you want, but I've pushed mine down just a little bit so you can see. So I'm not going to squash that flat yet. I'm going to let that, again, I'm going to let it dry and go off. And I'm going to bring in some that I've already cut out. I've just put a little bit of, on the edges of here, I've used my honey pot. For that.
Oh, I like that gerbera style one. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I've just used a bit of my fuchsia on that, and then all I've done on here is I've got one of my my classics, and I've just put some little dots on. Very technical, that was. Just lots of little dots.
Easy to do, but it really lifts them, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. So I've got a couple of those, and then I've got a couple of those lovely lily-esque ones. And again, I've just put a little bit of honey pot just around those edges. I've just used my pen to, so that those sort of embossed lines on there, just enhance them with some pen. And then I've got lots of my leaves cut out. my foliage, my foliage.
Having made a few of these, the one thing I have learned is you actually can get a lot more in than you think.
Yes.
And they do look better with more. This isn't one where it's less is more. This is one where it's more is more.
More is more.
Put the, you know, it's put in as many as you can. Oh, don't those look pretty with the little flowers?
Yeah, so again, just those little flowers on there, and then just using one of my classiques to do the centrepiece in there. I've got my Just For You, which comes with this. And what I have done is I've just got my stitched edge nesting die. So the only thing with this is once you've got your thumb stuck to it, you need to peel it off very gently. So my stitched nesting die, we're just gonna...
Yeah, you're trying not to...
I'm almost doing a keep,
distort
aren't I?
it, are you?
Yeah. That's it. So let's pop that on there. Did you see the show a little while ago where Keith got stuck?
No.
I think it was the last time he was up here. He'd put some red liner tape on the back of like a tissue type paper.
Yeah.
And every time he touched mulberry paper, every time he touched it, he got one hand stuck, then the other. Then he ended up with both thumbs stuck to this mulberry paper.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been
hilarious.
worth watching. That would have been worth watching. Brilliant.
Only Keith, isn't it?
Yes.
Only Keith. And nearly me. But so, there we go. So, just
quick
mat and
question
layered.
from Sandra says, I bought mine yesterday. Are there instructions in the package or should I be taking notes? Now, at the beginning, Michelle just showed you there is a little instruction sheet. She's going to bring it in. I can see her finding it. There you go. There you are. Your instruction sheet is in the vase packet, not the flowers. It's in the vase packet. So you will have that there as well. Trinkle's Garden and Home Life says, I purchased my set yesterday. Quite a few of you did, and now watching today, getting a bit of inspiration. So that's perfect. I'm glad you are enjoying this set. You know, it's going so fast. $22.38 or $25.52 with an extra 100 bonus points. Now it's just a case of treating it like any other pop-up box, isn't it?
Absolutely. So all we're doing now is we're going to pop all these in exactly where we want them. So this is the fun bit. You've got everything die cut out, and we're just going to build up a lovely floral display.
Then you could use any adhesive. You're using your red, your tape pens, but you could. I've seen these built up with chunky glue. Works really well.
Yes,
you could use your tacky glue. And I think you can just stick them in and then trim off any bits that are sticking out the end at the bottom at the end, don't you?
Definitely. Yeah, because you've got obviously the stem is all one length, but you know you're just going to be cutting that down as to however you want it to be.
Are you very symmetrical? You're looking like you're going to be very symmetrical.
No, I can't. It can't be symmetrical for me, unfortunately. Everything has to be unsymmetrically symmetrical.
Okay.
Is that even a thing?
I'm interested to see what unsymmetrically symmetrical looks like.
It has to, I don't know, it has to look right to my eye.
That's fine.
So, I don't know, I can't do the symmetrical thing. Something has to be just a little bit different for me.
Do you prescribe to the 1-3-5 theory?
Mostly, yes.
Mostly. I
think occasionally you can get away with it. Occasionally. But again, sometimes when you're trying to not follow a rule, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same when you're trying to make something symmetrical. It can be harder than if you just, you know, accidentally or deliberately try to do something. It can just be so tricky. Let me just find that. So I'm just finding where my glue is on the back of there.
So at the moment, are you sticking them onto the pot or the arms or a bit of both?
So a bit of both. I've got these back ones here onto the pot. This middle one is on one of the arms. This is on the front of the pot.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop one of...
So there's plenty of surfaces, isn't there?
There's so much in there. There really is. So let me just pop a little bit of tape on there.
So measure it to see roughly where you want it to go, and then you can see where the adhesive works.
That's it. So let's pop that in
Top
there.
tip is make sure you don't get adhesive elsewhere, otherwise when you close the concertina, it doesn't open back up.
No, that's
Says the voice of experience.
Yeah, that's why I'm definitely putting tape on this rather than on there.
Yeah.
Because then I know it's going exactly where I want it to go. So again, let me just pop that one in. So I'm just going to pick it up again.
Yeah, if you're using something like our chunky glue, then you're just going to have to put them in, put it to one side till the next day before you squeeze it shut.
Yeah.
Once the chunky glue's dried, then absolutely fine to squeeze it shut. But please don't squeeze it shut while the glue is still wet. Otherwise, you have just created a flat box, a flat vase.
That's it. I think we've all done that though.
Oh.
We all do that and then learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, but there's a lot of effort gone into there. We don't want to be, you know, doing it. I'd rather tell you things that I've done wrong and share them.
Yeah, sort of learn, do what I say and not what I do.
Yeah.
So let me just, again, that one just popped back off. And I've got my, so I'm quite happy with that as it is.
That looks really pretty.
Just going to pop my little bow on the front, just here, whichever is going to be your front. And then I've got just one little gem. Let me just, there we go. Look at that, squashes down perfectly. I'm going to put a little bit of tape there just for my gem. And I don't think I need or want anything else in there.
That is so, so pretty, isn't it? I mean, how easy has that been to put together, but it looks so effective. So that just for you could be a happy birthday, it could be a name tag, it could be anything, couldn't it?
It absolutely could. I mean, this says just for you, but again, you can be putting anything on that. Whatever it is that you're making this for, you're going to be popping that onto there.
Brilliant. I love that. Now, if you want that, then that is our pop-up vase collection. So you're going to get the 2 die set, you're going to get the vase set and the flower set as well. And they are coming to you today for $27.98 or $31.90. But if you're a Platinum member, take that price down there, £22.38, $52.52. And remember, you're going to get the 100 bonus points. Now, what you also saw Michelle doing was inking up around her flowers, and that really lifts them, and that adds so much more dimension and texture, and it takes a flat piece of card and makes it look beautiful. Now, I've already told you that our Craftmas, 12 days of Craftmas, we have got a deal on 3 for 2 for Spectrum Noir products. So you can pick which ink pads you want. But better than the 3 for 2 is this that I'm going to share with you today, because this is 35%. So it's actually going to give you a slight better deal. And what you're going to get is you're going to get in the opaque pigment, which you can blend with, you can heat emboss with. However, they're beautiful, beautiful ink pads. So because they're the opaque pigment, you've got the larger molecules that are held in that suspension. So when you have a look, you've got a much more spongy pad in there. So you're going to get your Spring Meadow, you're going to get Orange, you're going to get Chinese Red, Lemon Tonic, look at these colours, aren't they gorgeous and vibrant, Ocean Blue, Parakeet. This is a key one for foliage. You're going to have your Friar Brown and you're going to have your Fuchsia. Aren't those the most gorgeous? I'm going to come around that side so you can see the most gorgeous colour palette. Hopefully you can see, look at that colour palette on there, absolutely beautiful. Look at the combinations you're going to be able to do with that. So today, £35 or $53 for those. It's a 9-piece set, so that is a massive saving of £18.91 or $27.55. But your platinum price down there, £28, $42.40. So we've sorted out our dies, we've sorted out our ink pads. Now maybe you want some card stock. So this is your Centura Pearl bundle, which is going to be absolutely brilliant for making those vases. You're going to be able to die cut that detail out of these beautifully or make those vases. So we're going to give you a mixture of our glitter card and our regular Centura Pearl. Is that the right term? I don't know. Yes, Centura. So you've got 310 GSM, and each of these packs is going to give you 10 sheets in total. So you're going to get 100 sheets in, like I say, mix of the pearl and the glitter. So we've got cherry, you've got baby pink, There you go, you can see that. I love this one. You've got your mint green. Isn't that such a pretty colour? You've got, can you tell me, is that silver or platinum? Platinum? So it's out the pack. You've got your rose gold, which is a gorgeous gold colour. Now look at this. You've now got, look at that, the rose gold in the glitter. You've got the royal blue in the glitter. So pretty. You've got the lilac in the glitter, and the red in the glitter, and the Christmas green as well. So these are going to be brilliant, not just for your vases, but also for your flowers if you want to, or your decorative elements. Now, what we're going to have a quick look at is, we don't always get it right all the time. So let's have a quick look at some of our crafty fails while you check out your baskets.
Many of our viewers bring up time and time again, and that's our wax seal gate.
Thinking, Joe, it might not work as well because I've put too much. Oh, I've forgotten to put me thing in place. Because I have a way of words that I think that doesn't engage with that and can come out all wrong. Water.
That wasn't the one you just washed your brush in, was it?
Sorry. Yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Are you kidding?
I'm going to have to say, it's a slip of the tongue. I'm going to say it's maybe to do with my Scottish accent. I'm maybe going to say it's because of Mr. Ben Mosby. He is, well, yeah, he doesn't help matters.
I've made pots that have exploded when I fired them. I've done zips in inside out. It happens to everybody.
We've all spilt our glitter all over our project or knocked the water over.
You're right.
I've just noticed I've got my dress on inside out.
So I was messing about doing some backgrounds with the sparkling, took the lid off it and managed to catch the pot somehow, and the whole thing came towards me, down my front, across my lap, onto the floor.
I went to reach for the water and, you know, do the tapping with the and so there was less tapping and more sort of a tsunami. I've got some.
Your face on that, Michelle, when that water goes everywhere is just absolutely priceless. Now,
Joe just stood there. He didn't help me at all.
didn't he help you at all?
He came over and stood here and he went, "Going to mop that up then?" And I'm like, "No, you stand there, I'll do it."
That's what you need, crafty help, absolutely. Right, now let's go back to this. This is so busy, and this isn't even our official launch for, wow, another 5.5 hours. So we are so busy. Well over 40% has already gone. Now, for £27.98 or $31.90, you're going to get everything that I'm going to show you. You're not going to have to choose one or the other. So let's start at the beginning. First of all, you're going to get your vase. And this is your pop-up vase. It comes in two halves. You put them together, as Michelle just showed you, and then you're going to be able to create that vase. Now, it can be standalone or it can be in the centre of a card. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to show you. So I've got some, you know, you can put it on the front of your card just like that. How lovely is that? And I was just trying to see, you know, or you can have it as a feature. Absolutely beautiful. Such a gorgeous way to use it. There we are. So you're going to get your vase, and you're also going to get all of those lovely flowers, florals. You even get the stems. Look at that. You get the flowers, the foliage, everything that you are going to need. Now, today, if you buy this with us today, you're going to get all of those 20 elements, £22.38 or $25.52 if you're a platinum member, and you're also going to get 100 bonus points. I want to quickly show you a couple of ways that I made these yesterday. I made this one yesterday. Look at that, just using one element. I wanted to try and show that, you know, maybe it could just be a little bit more masculine if that's what you wanted to. There's another one that I made made yesterday, just using the floral elements on their own, you know, with your other dies. But how much fun is that? This one has been made by our lovely Maxine, absolutely beautiful, and Alison made that one there with a pop art. I just think that pink and that black is really, really striking. Now, I know some of you are saying on our socials, we asked the question, who would you give these flowers to in their pop-up vases? Now, Carletta says, Crafters TV, I would send some to my friend Mary, who's in the hospital. Well, Mary, I hope you get better soon. And Carletta, what a lovely thing to do. That would certainly make us, Mary smile. And Violet said, so cute. These would be great for nursing homes, hospitals, Mother's Day, endless possibilities. So please tell us who you would be making these for. If you've already bought them, who's going to get your first pop-up vase? And are you going to make it standalone or on the front of a card? I know there's a lot of questions there, but I want to know. I'm nosy. So are you going to do it standalone, on the front of a card, and who is it going to be for? Please share your ideas. And while you tell us those, Michelle, are you ready to show us another one?
I am, yes.
She is. She's busy poking the little bits out.
I am. I'm just getting my die ready because I've left all my little bits in it, so I'm just popping those last few little bits out.
Do you know that's the biggest thing people say to us? Oh, my die doesn't cut properly. It's user error, isn't it?
Yes,
Get the bits out, start with a clean die, and it will always work.
Definitely. Oh, absolutely. So I say it's always worth... it is always worth, once you've die cut, then clean it straight away. And I know we don't. I know we do it here, don't we? We put it away, we think we'll clean it later, and then someone else comes in the day after and they're like, who hasn't cleaned this die? And I know I get the blame a lot because it normally is me. But, you know, yeah, we all blame each other, I think, don't we? So again, what we're going to do is I've got this main die that's going to cut half of my vase, because you're going to need two if you're going to make a full vase. And then I've got those two lovely elements, those decorative pieces. So I'm going to pop those in there. I'm going to pop both these in, because what we're going to do is we're going to just cut this half out and we're going to pop it on the front of a card. So I only want this one half. I'm just making sure that's nice and straight in there. And let me bring in a little bit more tape and we'll pop this one in. So again, just lining it up. And again, you don't have to put all these through together. If you're more comfortable cutting your main piece out and then going in with your separate bits afterwards, then absolutely do it that way. I think, you know, you do it often enough, you sort of get used to doing it. And again, it's a personal preference. You either get used to doing it that way, it's your die, your machine. You cut it how you want. Right.
Oh, we're getting lots of lovely ideas on how to use them. Miriam saying, love the samples, look forward to the craft along with these. That'll be in January, I'm guessing now.
Yes.
So I've got loads of craft alongs this month, but obviously not with these. Yes, I don't know who will get that, so that should be a good craft along. Angela Cruz says, I'm going to use the garden gnomes with these too. That'd be nice. This is it, great, mixing your combinations. And Trinkle's Garden and Home Life says, I will probably give to my best friend. Well, they are very lucky if they're going to get to those. So, yeah, how exciting.
Definitely.
It's nice, isn't it, when you get ideas and you think of all the ideas and how you're going to use them.
Yeah, and that's it. I love that, you know, we're showing you these now and you're straight away, you're thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do that. And I think that's what it's about, isn't it? Not only us giving you inspiration, but we definitely get plenty from you guys as well. Right, so I've got my two different panels on there. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to just burnish my score lines. Now, if you've run yours through, and you feel like, because I've got quite a lot of decorative cutout element there and there, quite next to that embossing line, sometimes it can be, you need to be very careful folding it. So if you're just feeling there's too much cut line quite near it, just bring in your board and just go back over that score line there. Just give it a bit of a burnish on both sides, and because I've got all that decorative
Yeah,
cut away.
Quite hard. There's not a lot, is there, to
No.
grip to do that burnish line?
No, it just helps. It makes it a lot easier for you. So there we go, I've got a beautiful one now. And then this one, again, I'm going to do it just on both sides, and it only takes an extra second to do this, but because I've got that cutout element really close to that embossing line, I always feel it just helps you to do it this way. There we go. So let's give that a good emboss. There you go, beautifully. Beautifully, I mean beautiful. There we go, so that is my front piece. I've already got this cut out in some pink, and you can see that
That's
those...
Centura Pearl, is it?
It
looks
is,
like
yeah. You can see that the embossed lines that are in there are absolutely perfectly brilliant, and you know, you can score them. I'm just always very careful when I've got lots of cutaway elements. So those are my two pieces, and then I've got lots of these cut out. So again, these are just all the flowery floral elements that come with this kit.
That's definitely going to be a new Michelle saying, the flowery floral elements.
I don't even know where that's come from, but you know,
it works. It works. We
Flowery.
know exactly what you mean. We know exactly what you mean, Michelle. Absolutely perfect. Now, while Michelle's doing a bit of colouring, just to give you an update, we are now on 50% and we haven't even hit launch day yet. The launch day show, which will be at 6 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, if you are wanting this, then please get this as soon as you can, so that you are not disappointed come launch day show tonight, where Michelle and I are going to be singing a song and doing a little dance to fill the time.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Oh dear, and George and Jamie are dancing too. Oh dear.
Let's hope we can find something else to do other than listen to Michelle sing.
Yeah, no, you don't want to hear Corrine sing either.
So all I'm doing is I've just got some of my tri-blends, and we're just going to colour them in as we always do. If you're new and you don't know what our tri-blends are, then they are 3 shades of one colour in one pen. So you've got your dark, your mid and your light. It takes all the guesswork out for you.
It certainly does.
And they literally are one of the best things since sliced bread. And if you don't like bread, then since whatever
Chocolate
it is
hobnobs.
that you love. Oh, yeah. I love a good chocolate hobnob.
Bearing in mind, but to say we're supposed to be on a health kick at our house, we seem to be going through a fair few packet of those at the moment. Don't know what's happening. They're starting to get a little bit addictive after tea. Would you just like two? Yeah. And then I have to quickly put them back in the biscuit barrel quick. I've got a little owl biscuit barrel, and they go back in quick and put back away from the dining table.
The problem is, it's too hard to just have one biscuit.
It just sort of whets the appetite, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm going to be good, and I've got my 3 bean stew for my lunch. Try and start the day good. There we go.
Well, that's it. You know, if you start the day good, then you can go on to be bad.
Chocolate biscuits later, can't I? There we go. That's looking really pretty, and just that shading really brings it to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. So, where's my lid?
Oh dear, so we've got some more comments. I have to say, oh dear, I'm just reading ahead of myself. So Sandra Dundas says, I would probably give my first card to my sister who has ruptured her Achilles tendon for the 2nd time this year. Other leg this time. That is so unlucky. She's totally bored as her life is training her for border collies. Well, Sandra, I hope she is starting to feel better soon. And I don't know what the recovery time is for a ruptured Achilles tendon, but I don't think it's quick. So sending her all our love, and I hope somebody else is walking the dogs for her, otherwise she's not going to be getting a lot of rest. Terry Anderson says, I can't remember the exact name, but the collection of flowers that were launched to watercolour would be fabulous with this vase as well. Do you know what section those were?
I do. They've got lots of elements in like these. They are the ones that we...
Are they called the watercolour flowers? Is it simple as that?
They do have an... Oh, do you know...
I'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
I'll see what
I can't quite remember what they're called, but
yeah.
they are beautiful. But yes, absolutely perfect for adding to these.
I'm having a look. We like ideas like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if we can find watercolour flowers. Come on. See what we can find them. That's pretty.
I had them on not so long ago on a particular show. I can't quite remember. So all I'm doing here is I've got just a 4x6 card base. I'm just going to mat and layer. I've just run this top bit through an embossing folder because I've got that lovely frame of it there, which means when I sit this on, I've got a beautiful frame all the way around.
Yeah, they're not called watercolour flowers. They were our Butterfly Meadow, Bumblebee Paradise and Scent of Summer.
That's it.
As soon as I saw the pictures, I recognised them. Yes, I totally agree. They would look brilliant. I think, Terry, I think a lot of our florals will go in them. If you're having them as a pop-up vase, though, what I would suggest is you don't do things like your foam flowers because they're too much three-dimensional.
Yes,
That's not very well said. There's too much dimension on them. That's what I was trying really badly to say. Too much dimension. So, yeah, you want to keep, like those watercolour ones would be perfect. I'm sure you've got lots and lots of flowers. But the fact that we give you some flowers with them to start going is just brilliant because you haven't got to look them out. So use these to begin with and then move on to some of your others. So you're just using one panel to make a three-sided vase now?
I am, yeah. So I'm just gluing in my tab and I'm just holding that for a second. Again, just for the glue to go off. It's always going to take that little bit longer on a coated card. Yeah. So it
will hold.
Oh, of
once
course.
It's gone,
yeah. Once this stuff holds, you're not going to get it undone in a hurry at all. You just have to have the patience just to wait. It's what is it, 5-10 seconds?
Yeah.
But there's a long time when you stood holding something, isn't it?
And there's a camera on you. Yes.
Yes, so that is going to pop on there. So again, what I could do is I could wrap this round if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Or I could cut those panels out. And actually, what I think I'm going to do is the same as I did last time. I'm going to cut those.
I think it'll go better, won't it? Because otherwise you're trying to put the same size panel over something that's a little bit, the same size. It would struggle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too bulky, especially on the front there of that card. So let's just trim those down. So pop my card to the side. You can see that that's stuck beautifully now, and I'm going to use a dotty for this. So
this is what we were saying earlier, wasn't it? The dotty tape pen is perfect.
Yeah, it is absolutely perfect for these. So let's pop this one on here.
So so if anybody's still got them, then make sure you use them on things like this. Those dotty tape pens.
They're perfect for this, definitely.
Well, lots of you out there watching us, so I think you're all watching us and getting ideas. Now, I know Michelle is going to be doing a little video at some point today using this collection. We always try to do one quite soon after we do the launches, so that'll be on our Facebook or Instagram, I think it is. I'm not sure. I can't remember because I did one. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one it goes on to.
I think it goes on Instagram, but doesn't it go across both?
Does it go across both Facebook and Instagram? So
I'm pretty sure
that'll
it
be
does.
there for you to remind you of how to use these. So lots and lots of inspiration. Or you can watch back this show or our 6 p.m. show once your dies arrive if you need any more inspiration. And I have a feeling, looking at things that are coming up, these dies are going to be on shows, if we have any stock, most of next week as well. I think you'll see lots of these next week as well for inspiration. It's lovely to see everybody's different takes on them, isn't it?
Yes, I love looking on the pages once everyone's got their stuff and seeing how everyone uses it in such a different way. And do you know what? The thing is, don't feel like you have to use it in a different way. If you've seen us do something and you want to copy it, then absolutely do it. That's the whole point of what we do. Because then once you've maybe done exactly the same as what we've done, even down to the colouring, absolutely doesn't matter, because then once you've done that, it's going to spark your creativity and you're going to be thinking, right, now I can do this, now I can do that. But sometimes it's nice to just do the simplest thing first and then take it from there. Right, so what I've done is I've stuck my vase to the front of my card, and you can see I've got the different side on each, or the different decorative element on each side. That makes more sense. And then I'm going to bring in all these that I've already coloured in, and again, just use my tri-blends.
That colour combination is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
So
sort of
effective.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And again, made so easy by our wonderful tri-blends.
So that's, have you done that on multi-purpose or Nina?
So I've cut them out on Nina.
Nina.
So I really
Just
should
so
have
that
said that.
the
Yeah.
blend in well.
If you're going to colour them in, you can use our multi-purpose card if you want to. It's going to suck up more of your ink because, you know, by nature of what it is. So if you are going to colour, definitely use our Nina cardstock. It's smoother and it's what it's made for, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Right, so all we're going to do now is we're going to create a nice, lovely, again, just a floral display. So I'm going to pop this flower on a foam pad. And again, you can be bringing your poker tool in and you can be adding a little bit of dimension on these, or you can do the same with your embossing tool.
Now remember, if you are loving the effect that Michelle's created with colouring with her pens, then don't forget our 12 Days of Craftmas at the moment is your 3 for 2 on all Spectrum Noir products. So you could go in there and pick up 3 sets of pens, different ones, whether it's the tri-colour, the tri-blends, the aqua, the classiques, the brushes, whichever you want, on a 3 for 2. So really make sure you get the most saving that you can by getting the best 3 for 2 available for you today. So, you know, then you can be creating these effects as well. So pretty. And I think these flowers are going to be go-to staples, you know, those foliage. I'm loving that little stem that you've got up there, the greens and the pinks. Looks so pretty, doesn't it?
Yes, it is lovely. This is absolutely one of my favourites. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
It's a little bit baby's breath-esque, isn't it?
Yes.
What's the other name for it? Baby? Is that Aquilid? No, not Aquilegia. That's a completely different flower. Yeah, baby's breath is a flower.
I'm not brilliant with my flowers.
I'm sure it's got another name. Gypsophila. There you go. Came to me. Gypsophila is normally white, but it's got that feel about it.
Do you know what? I saw some pink a little while ago. It was like the most delicate pink, but it was a pink gyp, yeah?
Yeah.
So.
Now you are buying this in your drove, so well over 50% of these have now gone. Yep, so hopefully we can have enough for the 2-hour show, so you know, we've done 1 hour now, and yeah, it's definitely going down. Oh, is that one going to be tumbling out?
Yes.
That's a pretty effect.
Yeah, so you just, again, we've got my card base made, we've got that lovely vase on the front, and all you're going to do now is you're going to have a lot of fun. It's almost like really flower arranging.
Yes.
You know, you're going to be popping everything on there. You want it to look fabulous, and you're just going to have a little bit of fun. So, and again, so these, you're just deciding where you want them to go.
Okay. Well, when you finish that, we can then quickly do the vote of the show. Sylv Sparkley says, I do like Michelle's florally florals. There you go. Miriam says, the colours on these flowers are so cheery. Love it. Now, you could be making these perfect to the recipient. If somebody's into, I don't know, lilacs, you make it lilac. If they're a bit more of a blue person, because blue flowers are quite hard to come by, then make them blue. Keep it fantasy. It doesn't have to be real, does it? It can be as fantasy as you want it to be.
It absolutely can. And again, because it's your card, it's your creation, you're going to have a play with this, and you're going to create it exactly how you want it to be. So if you have got that, there's always one member of the family who's quite hard to make for. So for my daughter, she's very into her rock bands and a guitar and stuff. So if I give her a card with flowers on, besides the fact that she'd be like, oh my God, why? If I was going to, they would be in deep purples and blacks, a black glitter card.
Yeah.
It's so
gilding wax on them because they've got the embossed. You could get your gilding waxes on these. That would look beautiful.
Definitely. So again, it really sparks your imagination. So let's pop that one under there. And besides the fact that doing anything like this is just so much fun.
They say crafting is mindful, and doing things like this, you can really see where that comes from, can't you?
You really can, yeah, definitely. Especially things like this, because it is quite mindful, just taking the time to decide where you want everything to go. Mm-hmm. Hence why I'm trying to talk, but
yeah.
I'm flower arranging, so you just have to bear with me.
Do you know the name of the embossing folder, Miriam's asking? I recognise it. It's from our collection.
Elegant Swirls.
Elegant Swirls. It's a 3D embossing folder. It came in a collection of 12. I think they're probably available singly, but if you put in Elegant Swirls, you'll find it on our website, and it will definitely be there because it's a gorgeous one. Looks gorgeous inked, but I think here the white background looks beautiful.
Yeah, just leaving it white.
Yeah.
So I've got Just For You. That's going to go on a lovely jaunty angle.
That's so pretty.
I do have this, but I'm really not sure.
Oh no, I think that works. Yes.
Perfect. You know, when you're not quite sure, you need someone else to tell you.
Offer it up and have a look. It's that try before you stick, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. There we go. So again, I don't need to do a lot, but you really can go to town with this.
That is so much dimension on there. Absolutely gorgeous. So, what else have you made? You've done 2 for us today, haven't you?
I have.
You've done 2. So let's quickly get the vote going. So the first one we're going to have, so card number 1 for this show is our lovely Becky's cross stitch. So that is number 1. Number 2 is your pop-up vase.
Yeah, so the vase as it was, as it's supposed to be.
And number 3 is your card. Now, I'm glad I'm not voting. I'm glad I'm not voting at all. 1, pop-up vase 2, or card 3. Oh, we're having bets on in the gallery which one. You can't vote. You're not allowed to vote. Didn't you read the small print? It's the small print. It's always in there, not open to members of staff. Now, as I said, you can do the ink pens on the pens rather on a 3 for 2 by looking on our website. That's just a 24-hour deal. But this one here is better than 3 for 2. This is 35% saving. Look at that colour combination here. You're going to get these 9 ink pads. You're going to get fuchsia, Friar Brown. You're going to get parakeet. Oh, that looks quite blue on my screen, but it's not. That's parakeet. Then you've got ocean blue. Beautiful colours. Lemon tonic. I'm just imagining backgrounds and all sorts with these. You've got Chinese red. Oops. And orange and spring meadow. Now, these are your opaque pigment inks. So, yes, you can blend with these, but you can heat emboss with them too. So that'll be brilliant. Now, it says 9 piece. I've got 8. Because I just realised that was level. So there must be another one. Are they just checking for me? There is 9. Yep. Yep. Parakeet. Fuchsia. There you go. You're also going to get pink tulip. I don't have pink tulip here, but you're going to get that one as well. We'll make sure we've got that for the next show. So you're going to add in pink tulip in the pigment ink. Now, that is perfect. So you're also going to want to have a look at our Centura Pearl Centura Pearl, that was right. I just doubted myself that I said the right words. It is the Pearl and Glitter card. I'll whiz through this quickly so we can find out who's got demo of the show. First of all, you're going to get cherry. Now, each of these, you're going to get 10 sheets of each. Then you're going to get your baby pink. Oops, there we go. Mint green. Your platinum. Then you're going to get your rose gold. And then we're going to have a look at some of our glitter ones. You're going to get your rose gold in the glitter. In the royal blue, look at that, 10 of each. Your lilac, or is that, I'm not sure whether it's lilac or purple. You've got your Christmas red and your Christmas green. And then, by magic, look at that. I've got my pink tulip. you're going to get that one as well in the ink pads. So there we go. So these fantastic 100 sheets of Centura Pearl today, £33 or $53, saving you 15%. So that will be brilliant. Right, now, so where are we? So I'm just trying to remind me. Sylvia said, that just reminded me of Craig, elegant squirrels. No, it's elegant swirls, elegant squirrels. And then, demo of the show. Ooh, what was people's guesses? What was people's guesses? Ooh. I know, it's lovely.
She's added that fabric.
Tactile. But no, the winner, oh, you can't, yeah, you're supposed to put, if you are voting, vote for your own. But you'll be pleased to know that demo of the show today is demo 3.
Oh,
your last one.
Thank you.
There you go, demo 3. So that's going to go on to the shelf, and we'll see where we get to later on in the day. So thank you for joining me for that. Please, please, if you are going to if you wanted these dies, we are over 50% of them gone already, and they don't officially launch till tonight. £27.98 and 100 bonus points if that is what you want. Now I'm going for a quick break, try and get some lunch done. Got to go and get some photographs done, ready for the new year, and get some lunch down. So it's going to be a busy hour. So Becky is going to come back in at 2 o'clock, I had to think of the time then, 2 o'clock, and we're going to do our softer side. And Becky's already told us we're going to do some Christmas stockings, we're going to be looking at the block of the week, I think it was. We're going to be doing all sorts. So that's our softer side, 2 p.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then at 6 p.m. tonight, hopefully there'll be some stock left of our pop-up vase and florals. And Michelle, I imagine, has got some more demos ready. I hope so. Otherwise it's going to be a long 2 hours if you haven't.
I've got some exciting demos planned for you.
Brilliant. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So please come back and join us at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We'd love to have you along with us. Please have a... it would be great to have your comments along and have you on board with us till then. But we're going to go and have a break for an hour. And so until then, I'll be seeing you soon, and have a lovely afternoon.